Today we're adding to our discussion about Barker's Store, Sir William Johnson, Northampton, even Northville. Uh, Another episode of Adirondack Native Historic Preservation today. Sorry it took so long for me to add this information. I apologize today, but this is some of the additional information that I've come up with, and in this reference is from Northampton History.com, as you can see right there, and this just probably one of the first references that I found as far as Sir William Johnson and the historical significance of the fish house and its historical significance. This once again has links to the Mohawk Indian, the Sacandaga River, the Sacandaga Valley. This information can be concurred with Sir William Johnson's journals and diaries. And I'm just going to look through here and show you some of the information, so you can find out for yourself through a brief search on Google or archival documents. This information is not only accurate, but it's very important to the existence and the heritage of Edinburg and that surrounding area, and really Sir William Johnson's movement from Edinburg, the Sacandaga Valley, up into Lake George. That's my first reference today. This website is powered by Weebly, and I don't really see a. It does say Gail right there. It says Gail Kramer for a reference for a person there, and apparently she added some information to this without looking into too much of it. But you can see if you click on that, if you go to NorthamptonHistory.com, you go to Finding Historical Facts, Fish House Village scenes, existing houses, and there's a more site to that as well too. You can look through that at your leisure and find out the historical facts on this part of history. This example here is another great example. It's titled Trappers of New York. It's written by Jeppa Root Sims, unusual name, J. Munsell, 1950. You can find it in Google Books. You just go to Google Books and type in Trappers of New York. You can type in the author's name, and it should pop right up. That's how I retrieved it. The website is right there for you. And it's googlebooks.com, and it's a really long website. I'm not going to read that out for you, but you get a good idea of where it's located on the internet. And but once again, if you just go to Google Books, you can find that source. We're just going to type in Sir William Johnson, and then I'm going to click either enter, or I'm going to click search inside, and I clicked enter, and it comes up with 88 results. And as you can see, this is an extensive source for not only Sir William Johnson, but Sir William Johnson's affairs for the fish house, the Sacandaga area, and so this is a second reference that I found, and I'm just going to scroll down there real quick and show you several pages, 88 total. Goes all the way up to I'm just scrolling down. I apologize for the inconvenience of me scrolling, but it goes all the way down to page 274 for its last reference for that source. And you can search that out for yourself. I've already looked at this information at length, and it concurs with what we've already established with Edinburg, Sir William Johnson, the Mohawk, the French and Indian War, in that time period. Very significant historical value and heritage as far as the Northeast and the Adirondacks. My next example today, I know this is a little bit lengthy, but this is the stuff that I wanted to add about a week ago. This is the proceedings of the Grand Lodge of the Freemasons, and this example dates all the way back. This is the 132nd volume. This example dates back to 1913, and it's the Freemasons Grand Lodge, State of New York. As we can see there, we can see the cover or the excerpt, and we're gonna type in Sir William Johnson once again, and let's see where it takes us. Once again, I'm gonna hit enter, or I'm gonna hit enter on my keypad, or I'm gonna hit search, and this time I'll hit search just to be a little different. Unfortunately, this only comes up with one page, or actually it's 2 pages, because we can scroll down here on our first page, which is 129. Well, let me get over there. We scroll down there, we start seeing some familiar names or unfamiliar names if you're not familiar with this document or Sir William Johnson. And we start seeing talking about the lodge, its minutes, some of the people that were associated with that Pacific Lodge. It talks about St. Patrick's Lodge number 4, its master, its senior deacon, and we're just scrolling down. And then about halfway down that page, we see the name selected, and I'm going to read this verbatim here. The name selected for the lodge was become of the fact. Excuse me, I had a window pop up there on the side. The name selected for the lodge was become of the fact that Northampton was at one time known as Fish House, it having been a camp. It having been a camp and a fishing place of Sir William Johnson. There is another concurrence and another record, and I'm not using that word because it's there, but it's another record and another concurring example of, and this example goes on to page 130 as well too. It talks about Northampton Lodge, it talks about the history of Northampton's Lodge, and I'm just gonna scroll down there. It tells about the Fish House Lodge. It goes into a little more detail, and this is a great find for any historian. This is a great example. It may not be a first-hand account, but this is definitely as close as you're going to get to a first-hand account written by Sir William Johnson himself. Obviously, Sir William Johnson had many connections to this lodge. If you know anything about Johnson, he was a Freemason from a very early age. I believe in his teenage years or in his early 20s. Anyways, I'll have to document that later on. If anybody knows exactly when Johnson became a Freemason, please provide that information and comment on that. Just scrolling down, and so that even goes on to page 131. That information, and that's additional facts that we have for what we're talking about here, and in addition, historical significance and the heritage of this great part of the world and part of our nation. And continuing with Alexander C. Flick, PhD, Dr. Flick. publication here for Sir William Johnson's papers. It's volume 7, and it's Albany, University State of New York, 1931, as you can see there. Let's scroll down here so you can see. My computer is doing some autocorrect here. I apologize for that. But these papers are extremely important to Native Indian culture, to what we're talking about as far as Northville, Northampton, and you can search through these at your leisure. But I wanted you to see that that I did my due diligence and collected at least one copy from one historian and one author, I'm assuming editor as well too, of Johnson's papers. There are several editors as far as Johnson's papers throughout the net that you can find. I'm assuming most likely connecting to Albany and the State University. Probably also located in Albany Museum there in Albany, New York. And these are just noteworthy historical information as far as Sir William Johnson, his movement, his dealings with the Mohawk, being the what I would almost say the intercessor between the Mohawk Indian and the British. And if you really study Sir William Johnson, he played both sides. He played the Mohawk Indian, the Iroquois Confederacy as a whole, and the British as well. And he played both ends almost brilliantly, both ends against the middle. And I think you'll see that throughout the study of what we're going to do and the conversation of what we're going to do. And once again, you can look through these yourselves and search out that information, and you'll get a full understanding of who Sir William Johnson was and his involvement with the Mohawk Indian, his involvement with the Battle of Lake George, the French and Indian War, his movements through not only Edinburg, Northampton, but into Lake George, beginning before the Battle of Lake George, 1755, right up and through to the mid to late 1750s and 1760s, through this document and several other documents edited by several other historians, and I'm assuming men with greater degrees than I have, such as Dr. Flick here. Make sure I got his name right. But that's our last part for today. You can search us out. Just go to Google and type in Sir William Johnson papers, and you can look up the editor from there, and it should pull it right up. And thank you for your time. And once again, this is Adirondack Natives Historic Preservation. And have a great day. Bye.